They whispered to you that life would be easy, that the world would bend to your desires, that effort and patience were quaint, unnecessary things, and you believed them. Until the fire came, until disappointment, failure, betrayal, and chaos rained down like relentless storms, and suddenly the truth of life revealed itself. Nothing outside of you can be controlled. Nothing except the domain of your mind, your choices, your actions. This is the secret, the power, the freedom hidden in plain sight. The core of Stoicism: control what you can, release what you cannot. Every morning you wake to a world not designed for comfort. Emails flood in before your first coffee. Social media streams demand attention, approval, and comparison. The news flashes in, each headline designed to provoke anger or fear, and your mind, so often surrendered to the illusion of command, begins to fray. You reach for control over others, over outcomes, over fleeting circumstances, and with every grasp, frustration tightens its grip. Pause. Breathe. This is the first lesson. The world is not yours to command. The storms, the mistakes of others, the unpredictability of life, these are indifferent to your will. The opinions of bosses, the actions of friends, the whims of strangers, they do not belong to you. Only one thing truly does: your response, your choices, your thoughts, your effort. And in this, infinite freedom resides. Imagine yourself walking through a forest, alone, the sun just rising. You notice the wind tossing the leaves, the birds calling unpredictably, a branch snapping underfoot. Could you command the wind to be calm? Could you command the bird to stay silent? Could you prevent the branch from breaking? No, but you can choose how to walk, steadily, deliberately, with awareness, with presence. Every obstacle becomes a teacher. Every disruption a test of patience. Every moment an opportunity to practice mastery over the only domain you can ever truly rule: yourself. Work presents a different storm. Deadlines pile over. Managers demand. Colleagues compete. Most people surrender here, thinking control lies in shaping others' behavior, in forcing recognition, in demanding outcomes. The Stoic sees differently. The boss's approval, the company's trajectory, the market's favor, these are beyond your reach. But your skill, your preparation, your dedication, these are yours. You shape them, refine them, perfect them, and in doing so, you create a life unshaken by external chaos. Excellence, practiced daily, becomes a fortress, and no storm outside can breach it. Relationships, too, are a theater of control and release. Friends disappoint, partners betray, family misunderstand. Most cling, plead, manipulate, and in doing so, surrender the mind to endless suffering. The Stoic does not. He loves, communicates, supports, but without attachment to outcome. His happiness is not hostage to the whims of others. He cultivates patience, empathy, and integrity. When disappointment strikes, he responds with calm, clarity, and reason. Strength resides in how you meet the uncontrollable, not in how you attempt to dictate it. History whispers lessons that time cannot erase. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire beset by war and plague, wrote meditations not on controlling the world, but on mastering his own mind. Seneca, exiled and persecuted, composed letters of wisdom, teaching that virtue and reason surpass external fortune. Epictetus, once a slave, discovered freedom in self-discipline, proving that the chains of circumstance can never bind the mind that refuses them. These lessons are not relics. They are mirrors for your life today. Every challenge, every failure, every unexpected event is an opportunity. The traffic jam, the lost opportunity, the delayed message, each tests patience, presence, and clarity. React with anger, and you are enslaved. Respond with reason, and you are free. Each deliberate act of self-mastery strengthens the mind, building resilience impervious to chaos. The ordinary becomes extraordinary in its ability to forge strength and wisdom. Even personal ambition finds its place within Stoic practice. Desire for success, recognition, and achievement is natural, but attachment to outcome enslaves. The Stoic acts with diligence, skill, and integrity, knowing results may vary. Success is not measured in applause, wealth, or recognition. It is measured in constancy of effort, discipline of mind, and courage in action. Here, freedom is found because nothing outside can dictate your peace. Consider the body, often taken for granted. Illness, fatigue, injury, aging, these are inevitable. Most resist, curse, and despair. The Stoic prepares, cares, and endures. He exercises the body, nourishes it, rests it, and trains it. But he does not cling to permanence. He embraces limits while cultivating resilience and patience. Pain becomes a teacher, limitation a tool, discomfort an exercise in fortitude. Even failure itself becomes a mirror. A failed project, a lost opportunity, a personal betrayal. Most see only loss. The Stoic reflects, what can I control here? How can I respond with reason? Each misfortune becomes a step toward mastery. Each challenge a sharpening of virtue. Each disappointment a teacher in patience, courage, and discernment. Suffering is optional. Strength is a choice. Social pressures, fleeting approval, and public opinion are illusions of control. Most surrender to them, letting likes, comments, and praise dictate self-worth. The Stoic participates in society fully, contributes meaningfully, but never surrenders his mind. He chooses attention,
values, and focus. Happiness is cultivated internally. Peace is earned through deliberate action and reflection, not circumstance. Love and friendship, though uncertain, are opportunities to practice virtue. Others may disappoint, betray, or leave. You cannot control them, but you can act with integrity, honesty, and compassion. You can love without clinging, support without expecting. Your peace depends not on their choices, but on your mastery of self. In this lies freedom. In this lies strength. In this lies peace.
Now, let us contemplate the subtle but profound power of time. Each day, each hour, each moment flows inexorably forward, indifferent to desire, expectation, or complaint. Most squander it, distracted by trivialities, consumed by anxieties over what cannot be controlled, enslaved by the illusion of permanence. The Stoic recognizes time as the ultimate teacher, the most precious of all resources. Each moment is an opportunity to act with virtue, to practice self-mastery, and to align with reason. Wasted moments are lost strength, squandered clarity, and diminished freedom. Imagine the weight of a single day filled with choices. The choice to respond with patience rather than irritation. The choice to act with integrity rather than compromise. The choice to pursue effort without attachment to outcome. Each choice, though small in isolation, compounds over a lifetime, constructing a mind unshakable, a character unyielding, and a life imbued with meaning. Time is the crucible in which the Stoic is forged. Even ordinary distractions, emails, social media, gossip, fleeting temptations demand vigilance. Each demands a surrender of attention, a fragmentation of thought, a surrender of the mind's power. The untrained mind reacts. The disciplined mind observes, chooses, and acts deliberately. Attention becomes mastery. Presence becomes freedom. Each day, each hour, each decision is a practice of sovereignty over self. Relationships, again, offer boundless opportunity for growth. Friends may disappoint, lovers may leave, colleagues may betray, yet the Stoic cultivates calm and clarity, acting with honesty, patience, and compassion. He loves without attachment, supports without expectation, and communicates without manipulation. Happiness is cultivated internally. Peace is earned by deliberate response, not dictated by others' actions. The mind remains sovereign, a sanctuary impervious to external chaos. Even ambition, reframed through the lens of Stoicism, is transformed from bondage into freedom. Desire for success, recognition, or achievement is natural, but attachment to results enslaves. The Stoic works with diligence, skill, and integrity, accepting that outcomes may vary. Success is measured not by applause, wealth, or validation, but by consistent effort, disciplined action, and moral courage. Work, then, is a field of mastery, not a battlefield of anxiety or envy. The body, too, demands attention. Health is fleeting, vulnerability inevitable. Most resist, resent, or despair when illness or limitation strikes. The Stoic prepares, nurtures, and endures. Pain becomes a teacher, not an enemy. Limitations are opportunities to practice patience, resilience, and adaptation. Each obstacle strengthens the mind, body, and character. Weakness becomes a tool, discomfort a lesson, adversity a chance to cultivate fortitude. History continues to illuminate the path. Marcus Aurelius, ruling amidst war and plague, cultivated a mind disciplined in reason and virtue. Seneca, exiled and persecuted, wrote letters of timeless wisdom, teaching that internal mastery surpasses external fortune. Epictetus, born into slavery, discovered freedom in thought, reflection, and deliberate action. These lives demonstrate that sovereignty of mind endures where external circumstances falter. They offer guidance across centuries, proving that mastery of self is the only true power. Failure, too, becomes a tool for refinement, a project undone, an opportunity lost, a betrayal endured. These are not reasons for despair, but invitations for reflection and mastery. What could I control? How can I act with integrity, courage, and wisdom? Each setback becomes a teacher, each disappointment a guide, each challenge a test of patience and fortitude. Suffering is not inflicted by circumstance, it is chosen by the mind that resists reality. Strength emerges when the mind aligns with what is. The ordinary world, the traffic jam, the delayed message, the long line, becomes a stage for mastery. Respond with irritation and freedom is surrendered. Respond with calm and sovereignty is exercised. Each deliberate act of patience and clarity compounds over time, fortifying the mind against chaos. The mundane becomes a crucible for virtue. Mastery is forged in the routine, the daily, the ordinary. Mortality, inevitable and inescapable, reframes all effort. Death comes, plans collapse, loved ones leave. The untrained mind panics, resists, or fears. The Stoic embraces it, acts deliberately, and cultivates virtue. Awareness of impermanence sharpens clarity, purpose, and resolve. Life is measured not by duration, but by integrity, deliberate action, and mastery. Each moment is precious, each thought deliberate, each act aligned with reason. Even the storms of fortune, loss, betrayal, failure, chaos cannot touch the disciplined mind. Every moment is a chance to exercise wisdom, courage, patience, and clarity. Every challenge is an opportunity to fortify character. Every failure is a lesson. The external world may betray, punish, or collapse, but the inner citadel, carefully constructed and maintained, remains unshaken. And so, reflect on your own life. Every thought, every choice, every action is an opportunity to practice mastery. Choose deliberate response over reaction. Choose presence over distraction. Choose virtue over impulse. Build your inner fortress with patience, reason, and integrity. The world may rage, the winds may howl, but the mind trained in deliberate action remains calm, resilient, and free. Even modern life, with its endless pace and constant demands, provides fertile ground for mastery. Notifications, social media, emails, deadlines, opinions, and expectations bombard the mind. Most surrender to them. The Stoic filters input, directs attention, and acts deliberately. Mastery of self amidst chaos is the highest freedom. Peace is earned, not borrowed. Serenity is cultivated, not imposed. The mind becomes a sanctuary, impervious to external turmoil. Relationships, though uncertain and unpredictable, become a domain for Stoic practice. Others may betray, disappoint, or leave.
yet your response is within your control. Act with honesty, integrity, and compassion. Love without clinging, support without expectation, and communicate without manipulation. Peace is cultivated internally, not dictated externally. Strength grows in deliberate practice of self-mastery. Every challenge, every storm, every setback is an invitation to cultivate wisdom, courage, patience, and clarity. Each test shapes character, fortifies the mind, and deepens understanding. Life does not yield to desire, but the mind, trained in discipline and reason, commands itself. Herein lies freedom. Herein lies power. Herein lies serenity, unshaken by circumstance. Turn your attention now to the subtle power of perception. Life does not shape itself according to expectation, nor does it bend to desire. Events unfold with indifference. Circumstances change. People act unpredictably. The untrained mind reacts with anger, frustration, and despair. The Stoic observes. He discerns what is within his control and what is not. He reframes events, seeing obstacles not as threats, but as opportunities to practice virtue, patience, and courage. The mind, trained in perception, becomes inassailable, a sanctuary of reason in a chaotic world. Even
Turn your focus to the art of choice, for it is here that true freedom resides. Life constantly presents decisions, some subtle, some monumental, and most minds drift, carried by impulse, habit, or circumstance. The Stoic sees clearly. Sovereignty lies not in shaping the world, but in governing one's own thoughts, judgments, and actions. Every considered response, every deliberate act strengthens the mind, shaping it into a sanctuary of calm amidst chaos. Discipline begins with the mastery of thought. The mind left unchecked wanders, distracted by fleeting desires, fear, and frustration. The Stoic interrupts this drift, pausing to reflect, to question, and to act in alignment with reason. He asks, "Is this within my control?" If it is, he acts. If not, he releases it. Freedom is reclaimed in that pause. The mind becomes a cultivated garden, resilient, clear, and purposeful. Even intense emotions, such as anger, can be transformed into tools of growth. Provocation is inevitable. Injustice, criticism, failure, or betrayal may come at any moment. The untrained mind reacts instantly, surrendering to emotion. The Stoic observes, discerns, and chooses. He reframes obstacles as lessons, insults as invitations to exercise patience, and adversity as a chance to strengthen virtue. True strength is not found in domination over others, but in mastery over oneself. Fear, too, can be confronted and transformed. Fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty is a common captor of the human mind, limiting potential. The Stoic examines fear, understanding its roots, questioning its validity, and acting with courage despite it. Control is exercised over one's own resolve, not over external events. Each act of deliberate bravery fortifies the inner citadel, making the mind resilient, calm, and sovereign amidst life's unpredictability. The everyday, seemingly insignificant, contains hidden opportunities for mastery. Minor inconveniences, a delayed message, a tedious task, a small disagreement, are training grounds for patience, awareness, and deliberate response. React with irritation and the mind is enslaved. Respond with calm, presence, and intention, and sovereignty is exercised. The ordinary transforms into a crucible for virtue, where resilience and clarity are forged daily. Relationships,
though unpredictable, provide invaluable opportunities for growth. Friends may fail, partners may depart, colleagues may disappoint. The Stoic maintains clarity and integrity. He communicates honestly, loves without clinging, and supports without expectation. Happiness is cultivated internally, independent of others' actions. Peace emerges through conscious choice. Resilience is strengthened by impermanence, and virtue is practiced in every interaction. Work, too, becomes a field for cultivating wisdom and discipline. Tasks may falter, expectations may shift, and collaborators may fail. The untrained mind reacts with stress and frustration. The Stoic focuses on effort, skill, and integrity, the realm within control. Outcomes are acknowledged as uncertain. Excellence is the standard. Virtue guides action. Freedom is the reward. Work transforms from pressure into practice, a crucible for character and intentionality. Even ambition, properly understood, serves growth rather than anxiety. Desire for recognition, achievement, and influence is natural, yet attachment to outcome can enslave. The Stoic acts with diligence, moral courage, and clarity, accepting uncertainty. Success is measured by persistence, alignment with virtue, and the courage to act. External conditions may fluctuate, but a disciplined mind remains steady. Effort becomes liberation. Discipline becomes mastery. The body, fragile and impermanent, demands mindful care. Aging, illness, and injury are inevitable. Most resist or despair. The Stoic prepares, strengthens, and endures. Pain instructs, limitation guides, adversity teaches. Each challenge fortifies character. Each difficulty sharpens awareness. Each obstacle is a chance to exercise endurance, patience, and presence. Strength arises through engagement, not avoidance. History repeatedly demonstrates the power of disciplined thought. Marcus Aurelius, ruling amidst war, plague, and betrayal, maintained an unbroken mind. Seneca, exiled and persecuted, wrote letters of timeless wisdom, proving internal mastery surpasses external fortune. Epictetus, born a slave, achieved freedom through deliberate thought and self-discipline. Their lives affirm an eternal truth. Sovereignty of mind endures where circumstance cannot. Their wisdom remains a mirror for modern life, teaching that true freedom is always internal. Failure, often feared, is a tool of refinement. Lost opportunities, setbacks, and betrayals are not reasons for despair, but invitations to practice discernment, courage, and patience. What could I control here? How can I act with integrity and reason? Each challenge becomes a teacher. Each disappointment offers clarity. Each difficulty tests resilience. Suffering is not imposed, it is chosen by the mind that resists reality. Strength arises when alignment with truth is embraced and illusion is released. Even the mundane, the delayed message, the long queue, the minor annoyance becomes an arena for mastery. React with irritation and freedom is lost. Respond with calm, presence, and deliberate thought, and sovereignty is exercised. Each small choice compounds over time, fortifying character, resilience, and clarity. The everyday becomes extraordinary, a crucible where virtue is forged. Mortality, inexorable and constant, reframes every action. Death will come, plans will fail, loved ones will leave. Panic, fear, and clinging belong to the untrained mind. The Stoic embraces impermanence, acts deliberately, and cultivates virtue. Awareness of mortality sharpens focus, prioritizes what is essential, and strengthens resolve. Life is measured not by longevity, but by integrity, conscious action, and mastery. Each moment is precious, each thought intentional, each act aligned with reason. Even the most unpredictable storms, loss, betrayal, failure, chaos, cannot shake a mind grounded in virtue. Every moment offers the chance to exercise wisdom, courage, patience, and clarity. Each challenge strengthens character. Every failure imparts lessons invisible to the unobservant eye. External events may fluctuate, yet the inner citadel, cultivated with intent and discipline, remains unbroken. True freedom is found not in controlling the world, but in mastering oneself. Look inward. Each thought, each choice, each deliberate act is a step towards sovereignty. Respond with reason, act with virtue, accept what cannot be changed, release what lies beyond your control. Build the fortress of your mind with patience, awareness, and integrity. Storms may rage, fortune may shift, the world may tremble, but a disciplined, unshakable mind remains serene, resilient, and free. Here, in this mastery of self, lies true power, clarity, and enduring serenity. Focus now on the profound discipline of acceptance. Life is unpredictable, relentless, and often unfair. Plans will falter, people will disappoint, fortune may shift without warning. The untrained mind resists, complains, and suffers. The Stoic meets life directly, distinguishing clearly between what is within control and what lies beyond it. Acceptance is not passive surrender. It is a conscious embrace of reality, a liberation of the mind from needless struggle. In seeing the world as it is, freedom emerges and calm becomes unshakable. Even the smallest moments offer opportunities to exercise mastery. A delayed message, an irritating comment, a tedious task. These can either provoke frustration or become occasions to practice presence, awareness, and patience. Each deliberate response strengthens the mind. The ordinary transforms into a crucible of virtue, shaping character quietly, persistently, and powerfully. Emotions, too, offer lessons. Anger, disappointment, grief, and fear will inevitably surface. The untrained mind reacts impulsively, allowing emotions to dominate action and thought. The Stoic pauses. He observes the emotion, understands its source, and chooses a deliberate response aligned with virtue. Challenges are reframed as teachers. Adversity becomes a tool.
Turn your attention now to the extraordinary discipline of perspective. The world is neither inherently good nor evil, it simply is. Events unfold with impartiality, indifferent to desire, expectation, or fear. The untrained mind labels every challenge as threat, every misfortune as injustice. The Stoic, however, observes without judgment. He discerns what lies within his control and releases what does not. Perspective transforms chaos into clarity, misfortune into instruction, and uncertainty into opportunity. Every encounter is a classroom. Every conversation, every dispute, every small inconvenience provides material for growth. The untrained mind reacts, often with frustration, pride, or anger. The Stoic pauses, reflects, and responds with intentionality. Even the smallest actions, responding kindly to criticism, acting patiently in a long queue, or refusing to be drawn into gossip, become instruments of sovereignty. Each conscious choice compounds, forging a mind resilient, aware, and serene. Emotions, powerful and inevitable, are allies when understood. Anger, fear, grief, and desire need not dictate behavior. The Stoic observes, names, and channels them. Provocation becomes a lesson. Loss becomes guidance. Desire becomes a teacher in moderation. Mastery of self arises not from suppression, but from understanding and intentional action. Fear, often subtle, is a constant companion. Fear of failure, loss, or judgment can imprison the mind. The Stoic confronts it directly, examines its origin, and acts courageously despite its presence. Control is exercised over thought, not circumstance. Each deliberate choice to act despite fear strengthens the inner citadel, creating a resilience that no external force can breach. Work and effort, when approached with reason, become tools of freedom rather than sources of stress. Projects may fail, collaborators may disappoint, and circumstances may shift. The untrained mind reacts with anxiety and frustration. The Stoic focuses on effort, skill, and integrity, what is within his power. Outcomes are uncertain, but excellence and virtue guide action. Work becomes practice, each task an exercise in intentionality, patience, and mastery of self. Ambition, too, is transformed through Stoic understanding. Desire for recognition, achievement, or influence is natural, yet attachment to outcome creates suffering. The Stoic acts with diligence, moral courage, and clarity, recognizing that external results cannot be guaranteed. Success is measured by effort, alignment with virtue, and perseverance. The disciplined mind remains steady regardless of fluctuating fortune. Effort itself becomes reward. Mastery itself becomes freedom. The body, finite and fragile, is a domain for conscious cultivation. Illness, fatigue, and aging are inevitable. Most resist, panic, or despair. The Stoic engages deliberately. He prepares, strengthens, and endures. Pain teaches, limitation guides, adversity instructs. Every struggle fortifies character. Every challenge sharpens awareness. True strength is born not from avoidance, but from engagement. The body, like the mind, is trained, respected, and disciplined. History illuminates the enduring truth of internal mastery. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus lived amidst turbulence, betrayal, and misfortune, yet achieved sovereignty of mind. Their lives reveal a fundamental principle: virtue, reason, and character endure where fortune falters. Their teachings are not relics. They are timeless guides for cultivating inner freedom in a chaotic, unpredictable world. Failure, far from being an enemy, becomes a teacher. Lost opportunities, betrayal, and setbacks illuminate the path to clarity, courage, and wisdom. The Stoic asks, "What is within my control here? How should I respond with integrity?" Each challenge is a lesson. Each disappointment is guidance. Suffering is transformed from a burden into a tool of growth. Strength emerges when the mind aligns with reality and acts in accordance with reason. Even ordinary moments, minor delays, small irritations, or mundane frustrations offer opportunities for practice. Respond with irritation, and freedom is surrendered. Respond with patience, awareness, and intentionality, and sovereignty is exercised. Each deliberate choice accumulates, building a mind capable of serenity and clarity in the most turbulent circumstances. The ordinary becomes extraordinary when approached consciously with purpose. Mortality, inevitable and absolute, reframes every decision. Death will come, plans will fail, loved ones may depart. Panic and clinging belong to the untrained mind. The Stoic embraces impermanence, acts deliberately, and cultivates virtue. Awareness of mortality clarifies priorities,
deepens focus, and strengthens resolve. Life is measured not by years, but by the integrity, intention, and mastery with which it is lived. Every moment becomes precious, every thought deliberate, every action an expression of reason. And now, as the world continues its unpredictable course, remember this: storms will rage, chaos will strike, loss, betrayal, and failure are unavoidable. Yet within each challenge lies opportunity to exercise wisdom, to respond with courage, to cultivate clarity, and to deepen virtue. Life, when approached as a conscious practice, becomes a laboratory for mastery. Every difficulty becomes a teacher, every unexpected turn a guide. Through deliberate action, reason, and self-mastery, the Stoic discovers freedom that no circumstance, fortune, or betrayal can ever take away. And now, reflect on the quiet power of focus. Most people scatter their energy across countless distractions, chasing fleeting desires, anxieties, and the opinions of others. The untrained mind is constantly pulled in multiple directions, fragmented and exhausted. The Stoic channels attention deliberately, aligning effort with purpose. Energy expended on what cannot be controlled is wasted. Energy devoted to thought, action, and character is invested. Focus transforms life from chaos into order, distraction into mastery, and uncertainty into opportunity. Every challenge, no matter how small, is an arena for exercising focus. A minor inconvenience, a delayed email, a sharp remark, or a frustrating task can provoke irritation. The Stoic sees it differently. Each moment is an opportunity to practice patience, intentionality, and awareness. Each conscious response reinforces sovereignty. Ordinary experiences become extraordinary exercises in self-discipline, shaping a mind capable of serenity amidst life's most chaotic storms. Emotions, when examined and understood, are tools rather than masters. Anger, fear, grief, and longing will inevitably arise. Most minds react impulsively, surrendering to emotion and losing control. The Stoic pauses, observes, and chooses a deliberate response aligned with virtue. Provocation becomes a lesson, loss becomes instruction, desire becomes moderation. Mastery of self is achieved not through suppression, but from understanding and intentional action. Fear is ever present. Fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty can enslave the unprepared mind. The Stoic confronts it directly, examines its origin, and acts courageously despite its presence. Control resides in
Now direct your focus to the quiet strength of resilience. Life will test you, not once, not twice, but countless times. Challenges arrive in waves, some subtle, some devastating. Yet the untrained mind is easily overwhelmed. The Stoic, however, cultivates resilience through deliberate practice. Every setback, every moment of uncertainty is an opportunity to exercise patience, courage, and clarity. Adversity becomes a teacher rather than a threat. The storms of life shape the mind into a fortress, strong and unyielding. Even the smallest challenges demand attention. A minor delay, a harsh word, or an unexpected inconvenience can spark frustration or despair in those unprepared. The Stoic sees these moments as opportunities for practice, transforming irritation into awareness, impulsiveness into thoughtful response, and weakness into strength.
Over time, these small victories accumulate, creating a mind capable of navigating the most turbulent seas with serenity and purpose. Emotions, though powerful, are tools when rightly understood. Anger, fear, grief, and desire will inevitably arise. Most people react impulsively, surrendering control. The Stoic, however, pauses, observes, and responds intentionally. Provocation becomes instruction. Loss becomes guidance. Desire becomes a lesson in moderation. Mastery of self is cultivated through understanding and deliberate action, not through suppression or avoidance. Fear, persistent and pervasive, tests the mind continuously. Fear of failure, loss, or judgment can enslave those unprepared. The Stoic confronts fear directly, examines its source, and chooses action aligned with reason. Control is exercised internally. Each act of courage strengthens the inner citadel, creating a mind unshakable by chaos, resilient to adversity, and free from domination by circumstance. Work, with its relentless pressures and unpredictability, is a proving ground for virtue. Projects may fail, collaborators may falter, circumstances may change. The untrained mind succumbs to stress and frustration. The Stoic focuses on effort, skill, and integrity, what lies within his control. Results may fluctuate, but excellence and virtue guide action. Work transforms from burden to opportunity, each task a laboratory for deliberate living, patience, and mastery of self. Ambition, when viewed through Stoic understanding, becomes freedom rather than anxiety. Desire for recognition, achievement, or influence is natural, yet attachment to outcome creates suffering. The Stoic acts with diligence, clarity, and courage, recognizing that external events cannot guarantee results. Success is measured by effort, alignment with virtue, and perseverance. External circumstances may fluctuate, but the disciplined mind remains steady. Effort itself becomes reward. Mastery itself becomes freedom. The body, finite and vulnerable, is a realm for deliberate cultivation. Illness, fatigue, and aging are inevitable. Most resist, despair, or cling to youth. The Stoic engages proactively, strengthening, enduring, and accepting. Pain instructs, limitation guides, adversity strengthens. Each struggle fortifies character, sharpens awareness, and deepens resilience. Strength arises not from avoidance, but from conscious engagement. The body, like the mind, is disciplined, respected, and refined. History offers timeless lessons in mastery and resilience. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus navigated turbulence, betrayal, and misfortune, yet cultivated unshakable inner freedom. Their lives reveal a universal truth. Virtue, reason, and character endure where fortune falters. Their teachings are not relics. They are living blueprints for cultivating inner freedom in a chaotic, unpredictable world. Sovereignty of mind transcends circumstance, providing clarity, courage, and resilience that are eternal. Failure, far from being an enemy, becomes a mirror. Lost opportunities, betrayal, and setbacks illuminate the path to wisdom, patience, and courage. The Stoic asks, "What is within my control here? How should I respond with integrity?" Each challenge becomes a teacher. Each disappointment provides insight. Suffering transforms into a tool for growth. Strength emerges when the mind aligns with reality and embraces truth rather than resisting it. Even the mundane, The delayed message, minor irritation, or ordinary frustration offers arenas for mastery. React with impatience and freedom is lost. Respond with calm, awareness, and deliberate choice, and sovereignty is exercised. Each small decision compounds, forging a mind capable of serenity and clarity in all circumstances. The ordinary becomes extraordinary when approached consciously, with intention, awareness, and virtue. Mortality, absolute and inevitable, reframes every choice, thought, and action. Death will come. Plans may fail. Loved ones may depart. Panic, clinging, and fear belong to the untrained mind. The Stoic embraces impermanence, acts deliberately, and cultivates virtue. Awareness of mortality sharpens priorities, intensifies focus, and strengthens resolve. Life is measured not in years, but in integrity, intentionality, and mastery. Every moment becomes precious, every thought deliberate, every act an expression of reason. And now, as the unpredictable currents of life continue to surge, remember this: challenges are inevitable. Chaos will arrive. Loss, betrayal, and uncertainty are certain. Yet within every trial lies opportunity to act with wisdom, to respond with courage, to cultivate clarity, and to strengthen virtue. Life, approached intentionally, becomes a continuous arena for mastery. Every difficulty is a teacher. Every unexpected turn is guidance. Through reason, deliberate action, and conscious self-mastery, the Stoic discovers freedom no circumstance, fortune, or betrayal can ever take away. And in this mastery, the mind attains a profound serenity, capable of illuminating every path forward, even amidst uncertainty. Now contemplate the power of intention. Life presents countless distractions, incessant demands, and endless noise. The untrained mind drifts aimlessly, reacting to impulse, desire, and external pressures. The Stoic, however, acts with purpose. Every thought is examined, every choice considered, every action aligned with virtue. Intentionality transforms life from chaos into order, uncertainty into clarity, and distraction into mastery. Even the smallest moments are opportunities to exercise intentionality. A delayed message, an unkind remark, or an unexpected inconvenience can provoke irritation in the unpracticed mind. The Stoic sees these moments as chances to practice patience, awareness, and deliberate action. Each conscious response, no matter how small, strengthens sovereignty over the self. Over time, these small victories accumulate, forging a mind capable of navigating life's storms with clarity and serenity. Emotions, natural and inevitable, can become allies when understood. Anger, fear, grief, and desire arise constantly. Most minds surrender to them, reacting impulsively. The Stoic observes, reflects, and chooses action aligned with reason and virtue. Provocation becomes instruction. Loss becomes guidance. Desire becomes a lesson in moderation. Mastery of self is cultivated through understanding and deliberate action, not through suppression or avoidance. Fear, persistent and pervasive, tests the mind continuously. Fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty can enslave those unprepared. The Stoic confronts fear directly, examines it.
Now, consider the extraordinary power of reflection. Life moves rapidly, demanding decisions, provoking emotion, and presenting constant change. The untrained mind drifts, reacting impulsively, swept away by circumstance, desire, or fear. The Stoic, however, pauses. He reflects. He examines his judgments, his intentions, and his actions. Reflection becomes a forge, tempering the mind into a sanctuary of clarity, resilience, and deliberate choice. Even the smallest moments offer opportunities for reflection. A passing insult, a minor delay, or a brief frustration can provoke resentment or impatience. The untrained mind reacts automatically, giving away freedom. The Stoic observes, questions, and chooses a response aligned with reason and virtue. Each conscious act of reflection strengthens the mind, creating a foundation of serenity that remains unshaken regardless of external circumstance. Emotions, though inevitable, are instruments of insight when observed. Anger, fear, grief, and desire arise in all lives. Most surrender to them, reacting without thought. The Stoic watches them, discerns their origin, and directs them constructively. Provocation becomes instruction. Loss becomes guidance. Desire becomes moderation. Mastery of self is cultivated through understanding, reflection, and deliberate action, not suppression. True freedom is achieved in conscious choice, not in uncontrolled reaction. Fear, subtle and persistent, tests every mind. Fear of failure, judgment, or the unknown can imprison the unprepared. The Stoic confronts fear directly, investigates its source, and chooses courageous action despite its presence. True control exists in thought, judgment, and deliberate response, not in the unpredictable external world. Each courageous choice strengthens the inner citadel, cultivating resilience, serenity, and sovereignty over self. Work, with its relentless demands, unpredictability, and challenges, becomes a laboratory for virtue. Projects may fail, colleagues may disappoint, circumstances may shift without warning. The untrained mind succumbs to stress, frustration, or despair. The Stoic focuses on effort, skill, and integrity, the domains within his control. Outcomes fluctuate, but excellence and virtue guide action. Work transforms from obligation to practice. Each task an opportunity for mindfulness, patience, and mastery of self. Ambition, when guided by reason, transforms into freedom rather than anxiety. Desire for achievement, recognition, or influence is natural, yet attachment to outcomes produces suffering. The Stoic acts with diligence, clarity, and courage, aware that external events can never guarantee success. True achievement is measured by effort, alignment with virtue, and perseverance. External circumstances may fluctuate, but the disciplined mind remains steady. Effort itself becomes reward. Mastery itself becomes freedom. The body, fragile and finite, demands deliberate care and cultivation. Illness, fatigue, and aging are inevitable. Most resist, despair, or cling to illusions of permanence. The Stoic engages proactively, strengthening, enduring, and accepting reality. Pain instructs, limitation guides, adversity teaches. Each struggle fortifies character, sharpens awareness, and cultivates resilience. Strength arises not through avoidance, but through conscious engagement. The body, like the mind, is disciplined, respected, and refined.
History offers timeless lessons in resilience, reflection, and mastery. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus navigated turbulence, betrayal, and misfortune, yet cultivated unshakable inner freedom. Their lives demonstrate a universal truth: virtue, reason, and character endure where fortune falters. Their teachings are not relics, they are living guides for cultivating inner freedom in a chaotic, unpredictable world. Sovereignty of mind transcends circumstance, providing clarity, courage, and resilience that endure eternally. Failure, far from being an enemy, is a teacher. Lost opportunities, betrayal, and setbacks illuminate the path to wisdom, patience, and courage. The Stoic asks, "What is within my control here? How should I act with integrity?" Each challenge becomes an instructor. Each disappointment provides insight. Suffering transforms into a tool for growth. Strength arises when the mind aligns with reality and embraces truth rather than resisting it. Even the mundane, the delayed message, minor irritation, or routine frustration offers opportunities for mastery. React impulsively and freedom is surrendered. Respond with calm, awareness, and deliberate choice, and sovereignty is exercised. Each small decision accumulates, forging a mind capable of serenity and clarity in any circumstance. The ordinary becomes extraordinary when approached consciously, with intention, reflection, and virtue. Mortality, absolute and inevitable, reshapes every thought, decision, and action. Death will come. Plans may fail, loved ones may depart. Panic, clinging, and fear belong to the untrained mind. The Stoic embraces impermanence, acts deliberately, and cultivates virtue. Awareness of mortality sharpens priorities, deepens focus, and strengthens resolve. Life is measured not by years, but by integrity, intentionality, and mastery. Every moment is precious, every thought deliberate, every action aligned with reason. And now, as the currents of life continue their relentless flow, remember this: challenges are inevitable, chaos unavoidable, and loss certain. Yet within every trial lies opportunity. To act with wisdom, respond with courage, cultivate clarity, and strengthen virtue. Life, approached intentionally, becomes a continuous arena for mastery. Every difficulty is a teacher. Every unexpected twist is guidance. Through reason, deliberate action, and conscious self-mastery, the Stoic discovers freedom that no circumstance, fortune, or betrayal can ever take away. In this conscious living, the mind attains profound serenity, illuminating every path forward, even amidst uncertainty. Now, consider the unshakable power of acceptance. Life is not a series of guarantees. Plans will falter, expectations will be broken, and the world will unfold in ways you cannot control. The untrained mind rebels, resisting reality, attempting to bend it to desire, and often suffers as a result. The Stoic, however, embraces acceptance, not resignation, but clarity. He recognizes what lies within his control and releases what does not. Acceptance transforms resistance to freedom, frustration to peace, and chaos to understanding. Even the smallest disruptions present opportunities for practice. A sudden change in schedule, an unexpected remark,
or a brief inconvenience can provoke irritation or despair. The untrained mind reacts impulsively, surrendering freedom. The Stoic observes, perceives, and responds intentionally. Each conscious act of acceptance strengthens sovereignty, shaping a mind capable of serenity even amidst life's fiercest storms. Emotions, inevitable and intense, are instruments of insight when guided by reason. Anger